Is the world on the brink of a nuclear war again? We ask because the world is spending more on nuclear weapons. A new report is out. It says that countries spent more than $91 billion on nuclear weapons. This was in 2023. This year, the figure looks set to cross $100 billion. More countries are conducting nuclear drills. More nuclear weapons are on standby. More warheads are being kept on high operational alert. All of this points in one direction, that the world is preparing for nuclear offensives. And while most players talk about a no first use policy, the current situation makes our world like a tinderbox. One wrong move could lead to a catastrophe. Our next report has more.
$91 billion. That's what countries spent on nuclear weapons in 2023. It's up by almost $11 billion from 2022. And that's because of a lot of things. 2 wars, multiple global conflicts, and general geopolitical uncertainty. All of that is driving global spending on nukes. Leading the list is the United States. It spent over $51 billion on nuclear weapons. China is the second largest spender. It spent nearly $11 billion on nukes. Russia is the third largest spender at $8.3 billion, followed by the United Kingdom and France. Where exactly is this money going? It's being used to strengthen the nuclear arsenal of countries. The number of operational nuclear warheads is steadily rising. In January, 12,121 warheads were recorded worldwide. Out of this, 9,585 are part of military stockpiles. That means they are ready for potential use. 2,100 of the deployed warheads are in a state of high operational alert. Most of them belong to Russia or the US. China, too, is keeping warheads on high operational alert for the first time. So what explains this increased spending on nukes? In 1945, the US dropped atomic bombs on Japan. There was widespread destruction and an outcry against nuclear weapons. The US was the only country then with nukes. So soon, other nations started developing their own. The belief was that once a lot of nations had nukes, none of them would use it. It would act as a deterrent. But another school of thought says that this also raises the possibility of a nuclear war. It's been 8 decades since the United States attacked Japan. Now, 9 countries have nuclear weapons, at least officially on paper. But thankfully, no nuclear attack has happened since Hiroshima. There has been nuclear posturing, threats to use nukes, but no attack. But does this increased spending mean that the world could soon be on the brink of a nuclear crisis? Take Russia, for example. Vladimir Putin has repeatedly brought up his country's nuclear arsenal. Russia also began a series of exercises simulating the use of tactical nuclear weapons near Ukraine. On the other side, there's NATO. It is in talks to deploy more nuclear weapons. NATO members are mulling taking the nukes out of storage and placing them on standby. Which brings us to the question, can we ever live in a world without nuclear weapons? In 2017, this seemed possible. 100 countries endorsed a UN treaty to ban nukes, but nuclear-armed nations objected. And since then, the spending on nukes is only growing. In the last 5 years, global spending on nuclear weapons is up by 34%. By the end of 2024, the world would have spent over $100 billion on nukes. Earlier this year, the United Nations chief said, "A nuclear war must never be waged because a nuclear war can never be won." But are some countries looking to wage one? Or is this just mere posturing? We don't have an answer for it, but one thing is certain. The goal was to ensure a world without nukes. But as countries spend more and more money on them, that's unlikely to happen anytime soon.
Firstpost reports from the world's second largest continent. Hello, I'm Alison Lagrange. A very warm welcome from Durban, South Africa. We get you the news and the newsmakers from Africa. From elections to climate change, to innovations and opportunities. As the world's attention shifts, we report from Africa, the heart of the global south. Join me every weekday live on Firstpost.